Okay, welcome back. This is, I guess, a bonus episode, we're going to call it. I don't know how long this is going to be. It could be 5 minutes, could be an hour, could be 20 minutes on the dot, who knows. I'm calling this like episode 5. I think we're on 5 or 6, somewhere around there. We're going to call this like episode 5.1. It's like an in-between episode. This is the actual Twitch discussion of idea groups that's happening between episodes. So if you are interested in it, keep watching. If you don't want to see this, then just skip to the next episode and you'll see gameplay again. But yeah, Twitch chat was interested in the discussion, and a couple of moderators said, hey, you should probably consider actually recording this part. People probably want to know. So let me just do a quick refresher then on where I was at. This is one of the, sorry, I didn't even mention we were going to talk about idea groups at the end of the last episode, but this is one of the things I intended to talk about, which was, you know, what idea groups are we going to go for in this campaign? And all I had said about it so far was basically that even though we just took Admin Tech 5 and we have no admin points, considering it's a long-term campaign and we're a republic, so we can generate specifically the type of monarch points we want, that I feel like innovative is a pretty strong opener. We also haven't gone innovative first in a long time. So this appeals to me a lot. Religious ideas, I don't think we need it, even if we're going to try to do Protestant Reformation. Like, our job is going to be to encourage the Protestant Reformation when it happens. So, doesn't innovative and influence also give AE reduction? I think yes. Influence policy is aggressive expansion and advisor costs. Let's also take a look at our national ideas. Again, I still don't have them really committed to memory. I keep forgetting we have that shock damage received. That's so strong. That's really good to have. So morale of armies plus 10. Infantry combat ability soon. Sick. Tolerance. An extra merchant. Oh god. Chance to capture enemy ships. Yuck. Privateer development. Monthly goods produced. Sick. Okay, cool. Oh, and we have yearly Republican tradition too. Cool. Wonder what happens to that if we become a monarchy. Would it turn into legitimacy? Paradox doesn't always code these properly. Sometimes they just do nothing. Yeah, I would say so. I think these are some pretty good military ideas. It's also some pretty good economic ideas. The merchant, the dev cost, and the goods produced. And the autonomy change. Like those four are great. Realistically, we only have 3 ideas that are combat oriented, but yeah, they are strong. Infantry combat ability, morale of armies, and shock damage received. They're all great. Okay. Another thing we should mention is that yes, at some point, in order to become the emperor, we will need to stop being a republic, which will stop us from being able to take plutocratic. You have to be a republic to have access to plutocratic ideas. However, if you take plutocratic ideas before you switch governments, you don't lose it. So you can take it, and then you can actually have plutocratic and aristocratic. Plutocratic is a good group. It's got... This is not super meaningful, but morale of armies plus 10 is impactful. National North -2 is very strong. Another merchant's always good. Goods produced, very strong. Caravan power, pretty meh. Manpower recovery plus 20 is actually very significant. But the thing about plutocratic that's pretty interesting is just some of the policies are good. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which ones, but I do know that typically I'm happy when I've gone plutocratic ideas. Right, so just doing a quick rundown of all the ideas. Since we're a republic, we can go for whatever idea group we want, although technically admin is the weakest for us because we just hit Admin Tech 5, which means we start off with no monarch points to put into ideas right away. If we went for a diplomatic idea group right away, we could already take one idea, which it's just convenient because the sooner we get unlocked this first national idea, the better. Plus, we can get discounts on Diplotech to get caught up from having ideas. That being said, I really like innovative here. Economic is too slow. It's not strong enough as an opener idea group, I think, compared to innovative. Administrative is something we're probably going to end up with at some point, but not first. Expansions, blech, not going to happen. Humanist, no way. Espionage, don't even troll me, chat. No, espionage is just shitty. It's a horrible idea group. We're not taking espionage. It's so bad. Foreign spy detection. Oh, great. We can catch the spies against us, because that matters. Because when you're doing well, the AI attacks you so often. Them having claims on you is so significant. Granted, aggressive expansion impact inside the HRE is good, but it's just not... A whole idea group is not worth taking for just the aggressive expansion impact. And everything else is just so garbage that I wouldn't even consider it. It's not an option. Diplomatic is super good. Not as good as influence, but really close. Trade is okay. I wouldn't take trade first. Even as a merchant republic, I probably wouldn't go trade first. I'd still take influence or diplomatic. So right now we're looking at innovative, influence, with a diplomatic being kind of close behind influence. I would like to try to take plutocratic, but I don't recommend going military idea group first, because if you do that, you will fall behind on miltech in the early game. And like right now we're ahead of time. But if we go for a military idea group, we're going to want to knock out the entire idea group before we take tech, which means that at some point in the next 15, 20 years, we're going to be at war with people who have miltech 6, which gives them tactics. It gives them infantry fire, infantry shock, and we will still, if we're playing properly, we're going to be on miltech 5 because we're trying to power through the whole group at once, because every idea we take gives us a 2% discount on tech. So if we take 7 ideas, say we have all of offensive, then when we take miltech, we'll have a 14% discount to technology cost. It's just always better to do the whole group and then catch up versus, you know, do 3 military ideas, take tech 6, do 4 more military ideas, etc. And the thing about this time frame is that we've got tech 6 and tech 7 that both give tactics. So mil first is probably not smart. Mil second is doable. Mil third is definitely doable. Mil techs like 9, 10, 11 are pretty trash. And if you do if you do a mil group second, you usually don't have to worry about falling behind on important stuff. So yeah, for me, it's either innovative just because it's such a strong opening idea group, especially as a republic, because we can control our monarch point generation. You know, we're not at the whims of a monarchy where we might just have 0. If we need to, we can just re-elect every time, or we can always choose a bureaucratic candidate and just guarantee that we'll generate lots of admin points. So we'll do a quick poll. In my opinion, there really are only 2 options here, innovative and influence. But I could see going diplomatic also. Just having an extra couple diplomats would be useful. It also does give the diplotech cost discount, which makes this a discounted idea group. Lowered impact on stability from diplomatic actions doesn't really help us because we don't have vassals or marches. We are a republic, so we can't do royal marriages. We can't fish for personal unions yet, so it doesn't really matter. So, you're doing a poll, you better put naval into it. You were listening, though, for why we shouldn't go military, right? Naval's not an option. Let's just talk about briefly why naval is just garbage and you should never take naval, ever. Except for possibly in multiplayer, but even then I wouldn't do it. Naval battles, while fun, don't win wars. So naval leader shock, compared to, say, land leader shock, this is about 5 times as valuable as this. So all of a sudden, like just one idea in, offensive is 5 times as good as naval. Galley combat ability. Are you kidding me? First off, you very rarely fight in the inland seas, so who gives a shit about galley combat ability? Second off, you spend most of your time at peace, or possibly, if you're really aggressive, 50 to 60% of your time at war. When you're at peace, galley combat ability is pointless. You don't need galleys, you'd rather have your entire force limit in light ships, so galley combat ability, stupid. Naval leader fire and morale hit when losing a ship. Don't care, naval battles don't win wars. Yearly naval tradition, don't care, naval battles don't win wars. Sailor, are you kidding me? Sailor recovery speed. I don't think there's another idea in the game that I care less about. No, that's an exaggeration. That's actually better than, like, what else is awful? Probably this one. Foreign spy detection. I don't care about that one at all. Morale of navies, don't care because naval battles don't win wars. Ship durability, don't care. Don't care. None of it matters. It's all bad, all stupid. Luck says in the game files for the Dithmarschen, it just says bonus Republican tradition. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like I said, Paradox doesn't usually code this well. With some countries, they have gone through. Like, for example, I want to say Florence has a national idea that gives them papal influence. And I think if you switch to something other than Catholic, you still get something, right? You get like a church power growth bonus. But if they don't code it specifically, then in this case, if we're not a republic, we just get nothing for our finisher. So anyway, we'll do a quick poll. I think innovative is the way to go. Influence is also solid in the HRE. It doesn't directly affect aggressive expansion anymore like it used to, but the thing that makes it really powerful is that if we wanted to, let's say that we're going to win this war. If we want, we can full annex Oldenburg, then release Oldenburg, and if we have influence ideas, even though we'll have roughly the same amount of lands, we're going to be able to keep that subject loyal. So it still has a lot of value. And it's cheaper to diplo annex land always, generally, than... Can't really do that, can I? Can't say always, generally, but... It's 8 base diplo points to annex 1 development, and it's 10 base admin points to annex 1 development. So it's cheaper diplo point-wise to take land than it is admin point-wise. Relations is always useful. Diplo rep lets you get alliances you shouldn't otherwise get. Land force limit from vassals. So just the fact that we can keep 1 subject loyal and we can have 100% increased vassal force limit contribution means a 1 province minor Oldenburg is going to give us 2 land force limit. And look how much development we had to do. We had to do 22 development just to gain 2 force limit. Although technically we had the 2 force limit at 25. We only need to go up to 25. But so would you rather do 17 development clicks to gain 2 force limit, or just have a 1 province minor subject? Pretty easy decision for me. Subjects are awesome. So overpowered. Not to mention with the vassal tax income modifier here, and as a republic, we can't even access the subjects tab, but because we're not a monarchy, our vassal tax income should be 10%. We'll have 35% vassal tax income, which means at a bare minimum, Oldenburg is going to pay us 0.35 ducats a month. Bare minimum. Yeah, diplomatic's nice, but influence lets you do stuff that diplomatic doesn't. Do we even need to do a poll? I think I've sold the situation pretty well, right? It's innovative into influence. Pretty sure. Yes, and then that's the other thing. Unjustified demands allows us to do stuff that we shouldn't do without paying diplo points. All right, we'll do a poll just because the chat wants polls, but we'll see. The one argument in favor of innovative, of influence now is that we have 400 diplo points, and we can get going on our ideas and unlock this first national idea faster. That's a one pro for it, but I think long-term innovative first is going to give us this tech cost discount. It's also going to let us get and protect our innovativeness, institution spread, monthly war exhaustion. Oh god, I love this idea group so much. Just love it so much. Not to mention, right now, you look at our economy, like, granted we're over the land force limit, that's where most of our money's going, but when we had 3 advisors, it's like 60% of our economy going into advisors. So anything that reduces advisor cost is so good. What about maritime? Don't want to talk about maritime. Maritime is not as bad as naval, but it's trash. Don't care. Trash. Don't care. Very, very, very good. This is really useful because you can have more ships, more light ships. That's it. That's the only good idea so far. Doesn't make any difference, really. Saves you 2 ducats on a light ship. Saves you 10% fleet maintenance. Don't care. Admiral costs. Don't care. I don't hire admirals. I get them from the nobles or the burghers. Blockade efficiency. What is that even? No one cares. Ships can repair. Kind of useful, but don't care because naval battles don't win wars. So, all right. What's the result of the poll? Chat is smart. Chat agrees with Arumba. That didn't sound arrogant, did it? It's not the way I meant it. All right. Okay, well, yeah, this was, I guess, episode 5 or 6.1, talking about ideas and decisions and stuff. Beyond that, other stuff that I wanted to talk about between the episodes was just, like, you know, kind of reassessing, like, how we're doing with the war, but I guess I'm going to cut this episode here because I want to keep it specific to ideas. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below this video if you're watching this on YouTube. Was this useful? Do you want to see stuff like this? Do you want to see the in-between episode stuff? Or is it not for some reason? See you soon.